Hey, Shalom Alakim. This is Rakam Kapash from GMS Learning, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Shem HaChadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful that expression is truth and all sincerity. Back again with another video, and I got this article up here, man, because Putin's saber rattling again. He got the finger over the red button. He's using his nuclear might, as leverage against the NATO nations, and yeah, because this is what they're supposed to do. This threat of nuclear war. Okay, that's gonna become a reality. Okay, when the time comes in the World War III. Right, but before any of the nukes start flying around, right? The mark of the beast has to be prevalent in society, man. All over the earth, right? So we know this is just saber rattling, and they're gonna do their these military drills, basically, to show a force, to make these to Britain, because they were threatening Britain because they were talking about weapons in Ukraine, using British weapons in Ukraine. So the threats are going back and forth, wars and rumors of wars, as it is. But yeah, it's these guys, man. Russia, the bear, okay, Gog Magog, right? And it maybe work very well. This dude here, Putin, that presses that button, or gives the order for the button to be pressed, to end America. So I was just gonna go into a couple of scriptures. I'm not gonna make this a long video. Let me just quickly scan through some of this, right? So it says here, Putin orders tactical nuclear weapon drills to deter the West. Tactical nukes, right? This is let's see the summaries here. Russia to hold military drills. Drills to include tactical nuclear weapon scenario. Russia says move in response to threats from West. Russia and West facing off over Ukraine. Ukraine says Russia is using nuclear blackmail. Of course they are. They've got the nukes, right? They've got the biggest nuclear arsenal in the world. This is May 6th, right? It's a few days ago now, right? Russia said on Monday it would practice the deployment of tactical nuclear weapons as part of a military exercise after what the Moscow said were threats from France, Britain, and the United States. Since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, Russia has repeatedly warned of rising nuclear risks, warnings which the United States says it has to take seriously, though US officials say that they have seen no change in Russia's nuclear posture. Russia says the United States and its European allies are pushing the world to the brink of confrontation between nuclear powers by supporting Ukraine with tens of billions of dollars of weapons, some of which are being used against Russian territory. Russia's defense ministry said it would hold military drills, including practice for the preparation and deployment of use of non-strategic nuclear weapons. It said the exercise were ordered by President Vladimir Putin. All right. Says Russia and the United States are by far the world's biggest nuclear powers, holding more than 10,600 of the world's 12,100 nuclear warheads. China has the third largest nuclear arsenal, followed by France and Britain. Russia has about 1,558 non-strategic nuclear warheads, according to the Federation of American Scientists. Right, so all these things are only what's on record. Okay, it's likely that these other nations, they got more than what they make officially, they put out there officially. So though there is uncertainty about exact figures for such weapons, there we go, due to lack of transparency, right? It's likely a lot more, but it's not, you can't verify it. Okay, so no power has used nuclear weapons in war since the United States. The only, right, these hypocrites that decide whether or not people should have nuclear weapons, or how to use them, or whatever the case may be. When United States are the only ones that ever used them. Okay, when they didn't really need to, right? Just to see what would happen, on the Japanese, right? As it goes on to say, it says, unleashed the first atomic bomb attacks on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Major nuclear powers routinely check their nuclear weapons, but very rarely publicly link such exercises to specific perceived threats in the way that Russia has. Nuclear risks. US President Joe Biden said last year that he felt there was no real prospect of Russia using nuclear weapons, right? And it's true, they won't. Not yet. They're gonna keep them for the day of the Lord, the day of the Lord's judgment, man. Right? They're gonna be preserved to that said time. Okay, for the big boys. Okay, they're not gonna use it. Well, they're gonna use it on America. They're not gonna use it on Britain or in Ukraine. They're not gonna do that, right? I mean, they might, there may be nukes that get shot around Europe to attack certain cities, maybe. But I said predominantly these nuclear weapons are the Lord's weapons, okay, and they're meant for America, man. Babylon the Great. All right. Says, but CNN reported that the top US officials did contingency planning for a potential Russian nuclear strike against Ukraine in 2022. Some Western and Ukrainian officials have said Russia is bluffing over nuclear weapons to scare the West, though the Kremlin has repeatedly indicated that it would consider breaking the nuclear taboo if Russia's existence was threatened. We do not see anything new here, said Andriy Yusov, a spokesperson for Ukrainian military intelligence. Nuclear blackmail is a constant practice for Putin's regime. Right, and that's all it is, man. At least for now, right? So Macron has in public raised the idea of sending European troops to fight Russia in Ukraine, while British Foreign Secretary David Cameron said that Ukraine had a right to use weapons provided by London to strike targets inside Russia. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Western statements about sending NATO soldiers to Ukraine, amounting to a completely new round of escalation of tension, is unprecedented, and of course it requires special attention and special measures. Putin warned the West in March that a direct conflict between Russia and the US, the NATO military alliance, would mean the planet was one step away from World War III. It's all biblical prophecy, man. It's just a matter of time, But this will be the last war that's ever fought, right? And it will be a war like no other. Burning the fuel of fire, right? This is going to be a different war, comparison to the last two, but said hardly anyone wanted such a scenario, right? It's not about what the world wants, what these leaders wants, It's only all the Heavenly Father's plans, man. It's what the Heavenly Father wants. And he's already ordained this World War III. So whether you people are gonna try to avoid it or try to hold it back, or you can't stop this. Okay, even if it's in your plans to bring around World War III, right? Because we know those who was that dude, man? What's that Mace's name, man? Bringing the name escapes me right now. But they spoke about the three world wars, right? And that they were trying to get off. So even if it's in your plans, right, it's not going to go it's not going to go according to your plans. Okay, it's going to go according to the Heavenly Father's plans, man, right? What's this now? Just scanning this. Interesting. Okay, let me speed through this one. It's quite interesting, right? It says NATO, created in 1949 to provide collective security against the Soviet Union, is currently holding the Steadfast Defender exercise, its largest since the end of the Cold War. NATO was not said whether it would include rehearsal for any nuclear element. A nuclear command exercise by NATO in 1983 prompted fears at the top levels of the Kremlin that the United States was preparing for a surprise nuclear attack. Putin has faced calls inside Russia from hardliners to change Russia's nuclear doctrine, which sets out the conditions under which Russia would use a nuclear weapon, though Putin has said last year that he saw no need for change. Broadly, the doctrine says that such a weapon would be used in response to an attack using nuclear or other weapons of mass destruction, or the use of conventional weapons against Russia when the very existence of the state is put under threat. Right, so these things are broad scenarios, right? Putin cast the war as part of centuries-old battle with the West, which he says humiliated Russia after the Berlin Wall fell in 1989 by enlarging NATO and encroaching on what Moscow considers to be Russia's historical sphere of influence. Okay, that's exactly what they've been doing, right? Ukrainians pressing back and say the war is an empirical style land grab by a corrupt dictatorship. Western leaders have vowed to work for a defeat of Russian forces in Ukraine while ruling out any deployment of NATO personnel there. Right, but we know this is a theater of war, man, and this is nothing but this whole conflict with Ukraine is just a distraction, right? And all it's doing is being used to create further tension between these nations, man. Okay, until the Lord has them, face each other in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, right? Right, but that's enough of that anyway. So let's grab some scriptures, right? Ezekiel 38. I'm gonna, jump around a little bit in this, right? So 38:2. So, son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, right? So, Russia is in that mind state right now, man. Okay, where a war is imminent. Okay, you are an adversary. Okay, it's that whole Cold War mentality, man, that we're about to fight, right? And as I say, there's a lot of posturing going on right now, but they're not on friendly terms, right? So they're preparing themselves to war against these nations, man, right? And you read the rest of it here with the great company, okay, with Iran and all these different nations that are with them, because Russia's been amassing allies, over these last years or whatever, right, to come against NATO and the US, right? Jumping down to verse 10 here, it says, thus saith the Lord power Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought, right? And that evil thought is to let loose these nuclear weapons, these nuclear warheads that they possess. They have the largest stockhold of nuclear weapons of any nation, right? And when the Lord, decides it's time, the Lord's going to cause, Putin and his generals or whatever to push that red button, right? To shoot those missiles, to shoot those warheads, right, at America to destroy the land, all right? That's that evil thought. Okay, and it's just like I said, it's just a matter of time. For now it's threats, but eventually those threats are gonna become real. It's gonna become reality. Okay. This is Joel chapter 2 verse 1. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There have never been ever the like. Neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations, right? And it's not talking about people here. It's talking about these missiles. Okay, these weapons of the Lord's indignation. Okay, that he's had these Smiths create, right? this instrument of war, right? Because after they're used, then no one's gonna make these again. No one's gonna, these nations are gonna be finished, right? And we have no need for nuclear weapons, so they're never gonna be built again. So they're gonna be used, and that'll be it. That'll be the end of them, right? Verse 3: A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth, and the land is as the Garden of Eden, peaceful and tranquil, and uh, and behind them a desolate wilderness. That's what they leave behind when they land. Okay, this destruction, right? Lay the land waste. All right, it says, yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on tops of mountains, they shall leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness, right? And they experienced that. Well, the thought of it during the Cold War, they were scared as hell, man, thinking that Russia could launch nukes, and even in the Cuban Missile Crisis, people were scared, and they were doing all the drills and that, and they were concerned and worried, and so their faces are going to gather much blackness, much sorrow, much anguish. Okay, when these missiles are launched, because they won't have long. They won't have long to react, man. You got some of these missiles that Russia's got can reach America in like 45 minutes, half an hour. And so they won't have long to react. They'll be doing nothing, man. It'll be like that scene in which one is it, man? More with Nicolas Cage in it. The Knowing. And they ain't got no time. You hug your family, man. That's all you got time to do, man, and just get consumed by the fire. That's it. Verse 7 says, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways. They shall not break their ranks, right? Because they're going to be multiple missiles going to be shot, and they're going to follow the GPS signals and all that kind of stuff, and they're just going to go. They're going to be like in an array, right? So neither shall one thrust another. They're going to collide with one another, right? They shall walk everyone in his own path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded, right? Because they're not alive, right? They're going to explode, but they weren't alive in the first place, so they're not doing themselves no harm. And they shall run to and fro into the city, in the city, and shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief, right? So when these missiles explode, and the fire and then the shockwaves just gonna tear through things. Just gonna tear through the buildings and all of that, right? The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, because all that kinetic energy that's being released, or that tonnage, those megatons of energy being released into the earth, right? So it's going to cause a great earthquake. So the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining, right? Because the smoke is going to block out the sun, right? And all the stars light and all that kind of stuff, right? And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? Right? It's the Most High is doing it at the end of the day, right? The Most High wants this to occur. All right. This is Isaiah 34 verse 1 says, come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people, let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world and all the things that come of it, and come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. All right, that's that nuclear explosion. The mushroom cloud, right? Rolled together as a scroll, and all the hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Right, these missiles are going to travel through the heavens, man, through the air, through the sky. Right? Especially those ballistic missiles, man, they're going to come up and over, right? See, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Okay, this represents Esau in the land of America, right? America, right? and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood, it is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord have a sacrifice in Bosra, i.e. America, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Right? And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be salt with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become a burning pitch. Right? And this is what we talk about the lake of fire. That's what America is going to become from these missiles, man. And for all the extra fire and all the extra destruction that's going to happen in that land, man, because not only are you going to have the missiles, do their thing. Okay, you're going to have the angels there, blazing America with fire. You're going to also have from the earthquakes and the volcanic eruptions and stuff, man. You're going to have lava spewing out. It's just going to be a whole mess, man. Okay, the place is going to be filled with fire and blood, right? It says become that lake of fire. Verse 10, it shall not be quenched the night or day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever, for generation to generation, right? It's for a long time period, right? It shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever, right? No one's going to live there again, right? It says, but the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness, right? Because it's going to be unrecognizable. Okay, once those missiles land, it's just going to become a wasteland, After it's all settled down, it's just gonna be a wasteland, and you ain't gonna know where anything used to be, right? So they shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. And the thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. That's what we really wanted from that. All right, so I say basically just desert creatures are going to be dwelling there. No man is going to be in the land of America ever again. All right. This is from Jeremiah 50 verse 1. So the word of the Lord spake against Babylon, i.e. America, and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her. Right? And this is speaking about Russia. Right? We shall make her land desolate. Okay? They're going to be responsible for those missiles, man. Like I said, Putin's fingers is over that button. Right? And that's why they have the world's largest stock of arsenal weapons on the earth. All right. And none shall dwell therein. They shall depart, both man and beast. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, and they shall go and seek the Lord their power. I want to jump down a bit. Verse 9, right, says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, right? Russia and that great company we read in Ezekiel 38. Okay, you got China there with them, Russia, the BRICS nations, right? And you're gonna have even even allies of America, man, switch sides. Okay, these European nations and so on, man, they're gonna switch sides, man, and they're gonna use their nuclear arsenal to the most side's gonna make them use that nuclear arsenal to destroy America, man. All right. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain, right? These arrows are these missiles. Because we don't use bow and arrow anymore in this modern age. In this modern age of warfare. We don't use bows and arrows. Okay, what's the modern bow and arrow? The missiles in their silos, man. And they shot. And they reached to the other end of the earth, man. You can do it. The ICBMs, they for long range. All right, just like an arrow, it goes up and over. Verse 10, and Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, because you were glad because you rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, okay, America, right? You Edomites, because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed, right? And that's talking about Britain, the UK, right? Because America come out of Britain, right? But you're fucking everything up, man. And this is why eventually, they're gonna turn on you too. The special relationship, man. That's gonna be thrown in the bin. All right. It says, "Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness." And this is what America, the hindermost of the nations, a dry land and a desert, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited. Okay, again speaking about America, right? And but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished, and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourself in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows. Right, and I said the Most High gonna cause all these nations to shoot whatever missiles they got, right, on the land of America, man, till it's destroyed. Right, for she have sinned against the Lord. Okay, America's been the most wickedest nation on the earth, man. Right? Shout against her round about, she have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she have done, do unto her. Cut off the soil from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. All right. I'm going to jump down to verse 23 here. It says, "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?" Right, again, America is that top nation on the earth that is the oppressive force in the world, man. With their military, man. Okay, and with their dollar. It's been an oppressive force in the world, man. All right. So how has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? How has America been destroyed? America was the mightiest nation, the greatest nation on the earth. How have they become desolate? It's going to shock the world, man. Right? So I have laid a snare for thee. Thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. Right? Because they're wicked. Right? They're the wicked. Okay, the elites of America, they're wicked, man. Right? And they've striven against the Lord. Right? The Lord have opened his armory. Okay, these missiles are part of the Lord's armory, right? And have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord power Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. Slay all the bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for the day is come, the time of their visitation. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord our power, the vengeance of his temple. Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about, let none of thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done, do unto her, for she have been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. It says, therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud. The Edomites in America, the most proudest people on the earth, man. Right? It says, O thou most proud, saith the Lord God of hosts, for thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. It's just waiting that time. I said that all this saber and right now, eventually it's gonna come to manifest. Okay? And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour them, devour all round about him. For the sake of time, I'm going to jump down again, because I got to go sleep. I'm going to wake up in the morning. Fucking for the plantation, So again, I'm going to get from 39 here. So therefore the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the island shall dwell there, and the owls shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever. Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, we know that story. We know what happened to that place. The Lord brought fire down upon that place, man. And he turned it to ashes, right? And the neighbouring cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Right? So behold, the people shall come from the north, okay, Russia and the company, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. Okay, there you go. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy, right? Because they're going to be, in the spirit, man. The Lord's going to have, Most High is going to have them in that spirit, right? They hardened up, man. Okay, that those hooks have been put in their jaws, right? They're coming with that cruel mentality, man. And will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. All right, so that's what's being set up. I say it's just a matter of time before, Putin or one of these guys, right, make that decision to push that button, to push the button, man. Right, but like I said, like I mentioned earlier, everything's in its time, man. Ain't no one gonna be shooting any nukes until the MLTB is out in the world, being put in the people and that, So right now, all this is just saber rattling, threats and wars and rumors of wars type thing. So, but we wait patiently, man, because it's gonna happen eventually. All right, but I'm gonna end it there. Lord, this has been edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. So till next time, I say shalom.